Is she being an a-hole here? Dear Bert Show, P1 here. If you know what a P1 is, then you are one. If you don't, you're bad.
You're not.
My future husband and I got into an argument tonight, and it kind of involves his two sons, 16 and 21, that I've been raising with him for 10 years. Tonight, the doorbell rang, and we were not expecting anyone at all. DoorDash, Amazon, visitors, nothing. And I just looked at him to get it. He said, "Oh, I'm supposed to, I got to go answer the door?" And I told him, "Yeah, women and children don't answer the door to strangers, ever." So he answered the door, and it was a lawn care solicitor. Whatever, she says. However, afterwards, he asked me, "What do you do if I'm not here?" And I told him that if I'm home alone, I don't answer the door at all. But if the 21-year-old big, tall son is here, I ask him to answer it. He got so mad that I'd put his son in danger instead of answering the door myself. I told him, "Your son is big and tall and huge and street smart. He stands a better chance of defending himself against a strong arm intrusion than I would, except if maybe I had a weapon. I would never ask the 16-year-old to answer the door because he's short, thin, and not street smart at all."
Wow.
And he's underage.
Okay.
He's a minor.
That's all you had to
She
say.
never mentioned that. Because he's short, thin, and not street smart.
I mean, you do have those kids, like you can tell immediately.
Yeah.
You know a kid that has common sense and street smarts, and you know a kid that has zero of that.
That might hit a little close to home.
Okay. And it's so crazy that they both come from the same DNA and in the same house.
I'm not sure.
But they're,
But he still feels like it's my job as the future stepmom to answer the door to protect both of the boys. I told him it would be much easier. I would be much easier to strong arm, and there are other things that can happen to me as well. So no, I will not answer the door. But main question, am I the a-hole for asking the 21-year-old to answer the door, or should I just ignore it like I would if I was home alone? She says, "Thanks, y'all."
So I do not think she's an a-hole. I get where she's coming from. If I'm home alone and like we get a random knock, I'm not answering the door. Like, the dogs are going crazy. You've already, peeved me off because the dogs are going crazy. I'm not going to answer the door. Now, if your kids are there, adult or not, the way I look at it, if I'm not comfortable answering the door, then I shouldn't have one of your kids answer the door. Full stop. Doesn't matter if 16 or 21, able-bodied or not. I don't know where you live, what kind of neighborhood you're in, whatever. If you're not comfortable answering the door, then don't have your fiance's child, whether it's an adult child or not, answer the door. If he's living on his own and wants to answer a door, then fine.
He's 21 years old. It's a grown-ass man. Answer a door.
If it's a grown-ass man, he needs to be living on his own.
Ooh.
I don't know about all that. I don't know, like with economics and finances.
No, I get that.
In
No,
this economy?
In this economy, and I get if I'm saying that, I have no shame whatsoever if you're in your early 20s and living with your parents. But if she is not comfortable, this is like in this instance, if she is not comfortable answering the door, then she shouldn't expect his adult children to answer the door.
Here I go, maybe old-fashioned again. If I have a 21-year-old son, I feel like it's part of his responsibility to protect the family. So he should be the one answering the door.
I agree. I don't think she's being the a-hole at all. I grew up with two sisters in the home, and if ever my dad wasn't there and it was just my sisters and my mom, even before I was 21, that was just kind of something I wanted to do. Like that's what you do as the next guy up, as the man in the house. And get a Ring camera so that everyone can answer the door
There you go.
from inside and you don't have to open it.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, this is about to be an incredible ad for a Ring camera because you could just take one little look outside the door and see if it was an axe murder or not. And if it was, then, just grab a knife and answer it or just ignore it.
He's 21.
Yeah.
That's a 21-year-old man.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll survive.
But if my thinking is, if you aren't comfortable answering the door, then you can't ask him and expect him to do it.
And I'm just the opposite. I think as the woman, if I don't feel comfortable, I got a 21-year-old man in the house that can answer the door. Totally, completely different.
100%.
The Bert Show.